Basic Stimulation. Check that the biocam is turned on and that a chip is inserted. Next, right-click anywhere in the experiment window to open the new recording session. Click play in the controls panel to begin data acquisition. The amplifier may need to be calibrated to compensate for any oversaturated electrodes. Brainwave 4 is equipped with an automatic amplifier calibration setting, and you can also adjust the settings manually. Here we're going to adjust the value and the saturation. The color threshold on the MEA viewer may also be adjusted to allow for better visualization of your acquired data. Use the grid selection tool to take a small sampling of the microelectrodes to make sure that everything is calibrated correctly. Now that the biocam settings have been optimized, we can pause the data acquisition in real time by clicking Stop under the Controls panel. Open the Basic Stimulator panel by clicking Plugins in the main menu and clicking on Stimulator. This integrated stimulator tool only works with 3-brain's Stimulo chip. The 4 channels listed here correspond with the 4 different stimulator pathways on the Stimulo chip. The channels can be enabled or disabled by clicking on the CH buttons. Under Spatial Config, we can configure the first endpoint and the second endpoint, basically where our stimulation begins and where it will end. For our experiment, we will use channel 1-1 on the Stimulo chip, and then we will set the reference as a second endpoint. There are 2 different configuration options within the pulse config. The first one is Monophasic Stimulation. With Monophasic Stimulation, you can transmit a positive stimulus through the Stimulo chip. Here, we're going to set the intensity to 50 and the wavelength width to 100. Since we will only be sending one stimulus, we can put the interphase delay and the second phase options to 0. To send a negative stimulus with monophasic stimulation, we need to set a negative intensity. So in this case, we will set ours to negative 50. Our width will remain the same, a positive value. With biphasic stimulation, 2 stimuli can be released within a certain time window. The first phase can be set to a positive intensity, and the second phase can also be set to a negative intensity. Additionally, we can adjust the training config settings by entering in the number of repetitions, the rate, represented in hertz or per second, and the total duration of the stimulation. Once you have configured your stimulation, click Load to transmit the stimulation to the biocam. Click Play in the Controls panel and Play in the Basic Stimulator panels to watch the stimulation happen in real time. To start recording, click the Recording button under the Controls panel. Then click Play on the Basic Stimulator to launch the stimulation.